For 7 years, my husband told me I was imagining things. The late nights, the phone calls, the names I thought I heard. He was so calm, so patient, so sure that I was the one losing my mind. And then, one Tuesday morning, I found his notebook. And I realized something worse than betrayal. I had been right about everything. For 7 years. My name is Claire. I'm 39 years old, and until recently, I believed I was the problem in my marriage. Not him, me. I was the jealous one, the suspicious one, the woman who couldn't let things go. That's who I became, somewhere along the way. And the terrifying thing is, I don't remember choosing that version of myself. She was built, slowly, by someone else. I met David at 29. I was the kind of woman who trusted her instincts. I made decisions quickly. I read people well. Friends used to say I had a sixth sense about men. I laughed about it then. I don't laugh about it now. Because that woman, the one who trusted herself, she didn't die. She was taught, piece by piece, not to believe her own eyes. The first time I felt something was wrong, we had been married for 8 months. He came home smelling of perfume that wasn't mine. I asked him about it, gently. No accusation, just a question. He laughed. He said, "Sweetheart, that's the hand cream from the office. The receptionist keeps a bottle at the front desk." Then he kissed my forehead and said, "You always do this. You always make something out of nothing. You always do this." That sentence. I have thought about that sentence every day for years. Because it was the first stone, and he laid thousands after it. Over the years, it became a pattern. A woman's name in his phone I didn't recognize. A work contact. You're being paranoid again. A receipt for a dinner I wasn't at. A client dinner. I told you about it. You forgot. You've been forgetting a lot lately, Claire. A text that disappeared while I was holding his phone. You imagine that. The phone glitches sometimes. You're exhausted. You should see someone about this anxiety. See someone about this anxiety. That was his favorite. By year 3, I was in therapy. Not because I wanted to be. Because he had convinced me, and everyone around us, that I had a problem. The therapist was wonderful. She kept asking me gentle questions about my husband. I kept defending him, because by then, I didn't trust myself enough to hear what she was really asking. I want to stop here and say something important. If you are listening to this, and something in your stomach is turning right now, listen to that feeling. That feeling is not paranoia. That feeling is the part of you that hasn't been convinced yet. Protect her. She is the last thing they can't take. The morning I found the notebook was a Tuesday. Nothing special. David had left for a business trip the night before. I was alone in the house. And that morning, something small happened. It shouldn't have mattered. I was making coffee and I noticed the second mug. The one from our wedding. It was on the drying rack, still damp. I hadn't used it. I hadn't washed it. And David had left the night before. I stood in the kitchen for a long time, looking at that mug. And I did something I hadn't done in years. I let myself wonder. Not panic, not accuse, just wonder. And then I went upstairs and I started looking. I don't know what I was looking for. I think somewhere I had always known it existed. I just hadn't been allowed to find it. The notebook was in his office. In a locked drawer I didn't know had a key taped underneath the desk. Leather-bound, dark brown, worn at the edges. When I opened it, I thought, for a split second, that it was a journal. Something romantic. Something I would feel guilty for reading. And then I read the first page. It was a list. Names, dates, cities, hotels. The first entry was from 3 months into our marriage. The most recent was from 2 weeks ago. There were 47 names. 47. I want to tell you I cried. I didn't. I sat on the floor of his office and I read every page. And what I found wasn't just a list. Scattered between the entries, in his handwriting, were paragraphs, notes, observations, about me. I am going to read you 3 of them. Not all of them, I couldn't do that to you. But 3, so you understand what kind of man my husband really was. The first one was from year 2. It said, "She asked about Rebecca tonight. I told her she was imagining things again. She apologized within 10 minutes. The apology is the tell. When she apologizes, I know she's been reset. Reset. like I was a machine. The second one was from year 4. It said, "Claire is easier now. She stopped asking questions. She checks herself before speaking. She's learning." Learning, like an animal being trained. The third one was the worst. It was from 6 months ago. It said, "She never notices what's already gone." I sat with that sentence for a long time. She never notices what's already gone. Because he was right. I hadn't noticed. I hadn't noticed that I'd stopped calling my sister, that I'd stopped painting, which I loved, that I no longer had opinions at dinner parties, that I had become quiet and careful and small. He had taken all of it, and he had written it down like a man keeping inventory of what he'd stolen. I didn't confront him. I want you to understand why. Because some of you are going to be angry with me for what I did next. You're going to want me to scream at him, burn his clothes, tell his mother. I understand. Part of me wanted to. But I realized something sitting on that floor. For 7 years, he had controlled the story. Every fight, every suspicion, every truth I almost found. He had written the ending before I even knew there was a book. And if I confronted him, he would control that too. He would cry, he would beg, he would explain, he would reset me. And I would apologize within 10 minutes, because that's what he had trained me to do. So I did something different. I took the notebook, and I started planning. For the next 3 weeks, I was the best wife I had ever been. I laughed at his jokes, I cooked his favorite meals, I kissed him goodbye in the mornings, and every night when he was asleep, I photographed another page of the notebook. I contacted my sister for the first time in 2 years. I opened a separate bank account. I found an apartment. I told no one. Because I had finally understood something about him. He didn't love me. He loved the project of me. He loved watching what he had built. And the only way to hurt a man like that is to disappear from inside his creation without warning. On the last morning, I made him coffee. I kissed him on the forehead, and I put a wrapped gift on the table next to him. He looked up, surprised. I said, "I saw it in a shop last week. It reminded me of you." He unwrapped it slowly. It was a leather notebook, identical to his. Empty. He laughed, a little confused. He said, "What's this for?" I smiled, and I said the sentence I had been saving. "For whatever you want to remember." Then I went to work. I never came back. I left him a letter on the kitchen counter. It said only this: "I'm leaving. Don't look for me. I'm fine. You don't need to know why." No accusation, no explanation, no ending he could rewrite. He called 32 times that first day. He cried on voicemail. He told my sister I'd had a breakdown. He told his mother I was mentally unwell. He told everyone the same story he had always told. And for the first time in 7 years, it didn't matter. Because I wasn't there to hear it. I wasn't there to apologize. I wasn't there to be reset. 2 weeks after I left, I did the last thing. I had the 47 names. I had phone numbers, emails, cities, and I wrote a single message. I sent it to each of them, anonymously. It said, "You are one of 47 women." He kept notes. "If the man in your life has ever told you that you're imagining things, please know that you probably weren't. I'm sorry. You deserve to know." I didn't do it for revenge. I did it because somewhere out there, at least one of those women was exactly where I had been, sitting in therapy, apologizing to a man who had trained her to doubt herself. And I wanted her to have what no one gave me. A single voice saying, "You are not crazy. You were right." David never knew it was me, not for certain. He searched for the notebook. It was gone. He tried to piece it together. He couldn't. He lives now with the thing he gave me for 7 years, not knowing what's real, not trusting his own memory, wondering if someone is watching him. I call it inheritance. I am 39 years old. I am painting again. I talk to my sister every Sunday. I have opinions at dinner parties. And last week, a friend told me something that made me cry in a way I hadn't in years. She said, You laugh louder now. I hadn't noticed. That's the cruel thing about losing yourself slowly. You don't notice it leaving, and you don't notice it coming back. You just wake up one morning and realize the woman you used to be is sitting at the kitchen table again, and she has been waiting for you. If you're listening to this, and any of it sounded familiar, I want to tell you something. The instinct you have, the one that whispers to you at night, the one that makes your stomach turn when he tells you you're imagining things, that instinct is not your enemy. She is the last part of you that he hasn't reached yet. Protect her. Believe her. She is trying to bring you home. If this story reached you, leave a word in the comments. Just one. The word you would say to the woman you used to be. I'll read every single one. And if you want more stories like this, subscribe. There's a new one every week. I'll see you next time.